Do you ever, like, know something's a bad idea but you want to do it anyway? Because I just had a brilliant idea. Hello? What? They are not all the same scent, so... Hello, I'm back. But this time, things are different. Number one, I bought a clipboard, and I love it so much. Also, this video has a disclaimer. Here's the thing. It's been like 2 years now since I started making this channel, I think. When I first started it, the goal was definitely like booktube. The thing is, I hated being on camera alone. You can probably tell. I never felt comfortable and everything felt stupid and it was just like, why are you doing this? This is embarrassing. So then I started bringing my friends on and I had so much fun when I make videos with my friends. But I still really like books. Of the people who watch this channel, I'm pretty sure I know all of them. And that's fine. But all of those people I know don't really read the same books or get invested in the same books that I do. That's kind of why I wanted to make a channel in the first place. It's still those people watching them and interacting with me on this channel, and that's great and I love them for that. But also it's like, who am I even making these videos for? I have an answer. The answer is me. I'm making these videos for me. Because here's the thing. There's still this part of me that really wants to make these videos even if no one watches them. Just making them is what I want to do. So that's my disclaimer before this video, because this video is about books. Yeah, okay. September has arrived. Fall is really, hopefully, gonna be here soon. I want to make a video just about the books I read this summer. Because I actually did a lot of reading this summer, which is rare for me, because usually I don't. This summer I did a lot of reading and a lot of rereading, which was nice. It's mostly just things I read in July. You're not burning my books, are you? Jesus. Actually, that didn't smell that bad when they were all together. So what I'm doing is I have 12 books I read this summer. I'm going to give them a rating out of 5 stars, give you a little summary, and then also my personal thoughts on it. This is spoiler free. Mostly. Except for one. I'll say that. I'm going to then go back through them and rank them in order of my favorites. The last one I give you your info about is my all-time favorite that I read this summer. And then from there, I'm gonna go backwards to 12. Disclaimer 2, this one's about books. I'm pretty easy to please. So like, I didn't hate any of these. Even the ones ranked like 10, 11, 12, like I still enjoyed a lot. So pretty much all of these highly enjoyable. So if you have happened to stumble across this channel and you're like, who is this girl? Why is she talking so much? Here are some book recommendations. Okay, here we go. I get to use my clipboard. First one I'm going to talk about is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This book I gave, I think, 3 out of 5 stars. I liked this book a lot. It was not my favorite. Here's your summary. Arthur and Ben are 2 teenagers living in New York City for the summer, and they meet and they kind of hit it off immediately, but Ben is getting over his ex-boyfriend and Arthur is just kind of naive, but they keep sort of ending up back in each other's lives. They're wondering, you know, could this be fate? What if it's us? Also, there's Dear Evan Hansen references and Hamilton references. My own thoughts. I said, not my favorite from either author. Something about it made me less like attached to the characters that I was with their other stuff I've read. It's just a little bit longer than your average contemporary. And so sometimes I think that kind of played into it. I don't have a long attention span. I love the side characters. Dylan, I love him. Relationships between the main characters and the side characters, wonderful. And it's funny. Next. We have 2 books because they're part of a series together. Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I've had this book in my room for like almost 2 years now. It's not mine. Tower of Dawn gets a 2 out of 5. Kingdom of Ash gets a 3.5 out of 5. Let's talk. Okay, this is a spoilery one. Okay, I'm not really doing a summary for these because I kind of feel like if you know the Throne of Glass series, you know the summary. If you don't know the Throne of Glass series, you probably don't care about the 6th and 7th book in the series. Tower of Dawn is the 6th in the Throne of Glass book series. Its plot occurs parallel to the plot from the 5th book, Empire of Storms. I love Empire of Storms. Part of the reason I loved Empire of Storms was because it didn't have these characters in it. I don't like Kale Westfall. So when I heard that I was going to have to read, hold please, 662 pages about Kale Westfall and friends, I was not pleased. But I did it. It took me 2 years. It got better. But I still don't like Kale Westfall. I do really like the other 2 point of view characters. It dragged. I was bored. You're in a completely different setting than you've been in for the rest of the series. It was interesting to see like this other side of the world, but 5 books into a 7-book series, I wasn't really in it to become so invested in a new world and new characters. There was enough to deal with back on the continent that had taken 5 books to take shape in my mind. And I was just like, I'm not ready to jump back into this exposition world building. It was too much. There was one other thing about this book that bothered me. This is my opinion. A lot of the plot is focused on healing Kale because he was paralyzed at the end of Queen of Shadows from like the waist down. Something about it just made me a little uncomfortable. There's a lot of rhetoric about like fixing him. Like he's in a wheelchair and they're all like, when are we gonna get him out of this wheelchair? And I think some of that was supposed to be like, oh, the characters don't realize his worth when he's in a wheelchair. But it just didn't feel distinct enough. Like it just kind of felt like they were saying Kale's not worth what he was if he's in a wheelchair. And I did not like that. That's all I'm gonna say about Tower of Dawn. Kingdom of Ash. Look, I finished the goddamn Throne of Glass series. I have been here for so long dealing with this series. This series has like specific memories associated with it. Hello? My Siri just turned on. She's never done that before without me clicking the button. But yeah, I have like specific memories I can associate with this series. There's so much I loved and I hated and I loved and I hated because, you know, somewhere around the time that Rowan and Aelin had extremely over-the-top sexy times on a beach, I started to wonder what I was reading. I'm just gonna say 3.5 out of 5. It had a solid ending to the series, wrapped everything up. I did cry. Good romantic moments. Kingdom of Ash, solid ending. I enjoyed it. Next. Anne of the Island by L.M. Montgomery. This is the 3rd Anne of Green Gables book. 4 out of 5. Anne Shirley, your redheaded orphan that we all know and love, leaves Avonlea to attend college. I just said... Typical Anne hijinks ensue, this time with the added bonus of romantic confusion, aka the romance one. I said it was sweet, it's fun, well, you know, it's just classic novel, so it's kind of a different genre and different writing than everything else on this list. I said points for Gilbert Pining and Philippa Gordon. All the versions of this book that I have since watched film versions of leave out Philippa Gordon, and she's the best character. So I guess we have to make another movie. I forgot to get water. I don't have the next one on this list, but I love it. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. 5 out of 5 stars. In a universe without Donald Trump, what if the first son of the United States had an enemies to lovers relationship with the Prince of England? I I cannot stress how good this book is to you. It has so many things it touches on. It has politics, it has family, it has friendships, it has romances. There's like a specific genre of books in my mind that are like so many elements that when you try to explain it, it makes no sense. But when you read it, they work together so well. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This book is amazing, it's heartbreaking, it's hopeful, I cried, it's hilarious, changed my life. But it kind of ruined the next book on our list. Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. Millie goes to a boarding school in Edinburgh after her sort of girlfriend ditches her for her ex. The wayward Princess of Scotland, Fiona, happens to be her roommate. Tensions rise. What types of tensions? Good question. Romantic ones. I have a type, apparently. I definitely was seeing this recommended after Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I definitely read it because I wanted more Red, White, and Royal Blue. The problem is, that's not what it is. I gave this a 3 out of 5. It's good. It's sweet. You know, it's cheesy. It's not, in my opinion, up to the caliber that Red, White, and Royal Blue was. It just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But it's still really, really good. Points for having a bisexual female as your lead, and female-female romance, because in the world of YA, there's not a lot of that right now. Next. Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Sir Terry Pratchett. Can literally hear there's a person outside my room. It's someone from my family. So welcome to my ASMR about summer reads. It's hilarious. A demon and an angel make a mess of the apocalypse. A witch and a not quite computer engineer try to save the world. Meanwhile, the Antichrist is living in a small, quiet British village. Those are your ingredients. Amazon made a miniseries. I actually watched the miniseries before reading it. Honestly, I like pairing the miniseries with the book. I feel like the miniseries added some to the book, but it also, of course, took away something, so it's like you have to read the book to get the full story. But I also think you sort of have to watch the miniseries to get the full story. It's just a unique story, and they're both masters. You can just read how much fun they had when they were writing this. Next is another series. It is the Folk of the Air series by Holly Black, The Cruel Prince and the Wicked King. When I was a child, I was a fairy girl. I love fairy books. The story is, Jude is a human girl. When she's very young, she witnesses her parents being murdered. She and her sisters are then taken by fairies, and they're raised in fairy. The fairies are creepy, and they like murder people and humiliate humans for fun. And so they're all like, oh, we hate Jude and Taryn. They're bullied by one of the fairy princes and his little posse, Carson. Carson and Jude hate each other so much. So much hatred. So the old fairy king is like dying. He is planning to abdicate in favor of one of his 6 children. Who's gonna be the new High King? Jude realizes she needs to get on top. 4.5 out of 5. Because there is no other character I've read like Jude, especially not a female one. Jude is just conniving and cunning and ruthless. And she is gonna do what it takes. She's supposed to be sort of disgusted with fairy. The fairies are violent and creepy and cunning. She loves that because that's what she excels at. She's so good at what she does, and you just want her to win. Autobiography by Christina Lauren. A fun fact I did not know until I finished the book, I think. Christina Lauren is a pen name for 2 women. One named Christina and one named Lauren. I can't remember their last names, but they're like best friends, and so they wrote it together. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Tanner gets pressured by his best friend to take this creative writing course where you write a novel in a semester. He starts to fall for his TA, Sebastian brother. The problem is, they live in an extremely Mormon town. Tanner is not Mormon. Sebastian is the son of an elder. It's a really good look at like queer romance with the religious aspect, but it's not my favorite in the genre. Something about it stressed me out. Something about it was not my favorite. It might have been Tanner. Last but not least, A Heart in a Body in a World by Deb Coletti. This book, 5 out of 5 stars. 6 out of 5 stars. Read this book. It is about this girl named Annabelle. All I wrote down was Annabelle starts running and she can't stop. She starts running and she decides she's not stopping till she gets to Washington, D.C. Why? Because something traumatic happened to Annabelle last year, and we as readers don't know what it is. It's a sad book, but it's also hopeful. It deals with a lot of controversial issues without forcing anything at you, because it's not a book about one controversial issue. It's just this one girl's story, and it is so good. So that is my number 1 for this summer. A Heart in the Body and the World. Number 2, Red, White, and Royal Blue. Number 3, this is a tie, The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King, because honestly, I might have read both of them in a 2-day span, so I can't really remember where one ends and the other begins. 4th, I said Good Omens. 5th, Kingdom of Ash. 6th, Autobiography. 7th, What If It's Us? 8th, Anne of the Island. Yeah, I beatbox. 9th, Her Royal Highness Rachel Hawkins. 10th, okay, wait, what? Hi, I'm Carson, and I only just now realized I only did 11 books. I'm literally still missing one. Number 3, Folk of the Air. That's a tie. So that's 2 books right there. Oh. I'm so good at math. Because of the tie, there's only 10 places. 10th place is Tower of Dawn. So that's the end of this video. I'm Pursued by a Bear. My real name is Carson. Don't think I said that at the beginning of this video. So nice to meet you all. Thank you for watching. Does anyone on the YouTube know how to not awkwardly end a video? Okay, bye. So we're not gonna read this whole thing.
You want my thinking do? They can let me stand.
Yes, I am selfish. Let's talk about me. No. Next is... I don't know why I held that up like it was a piece of garbage. Was this the book with the thing about a unicorn? Yes! Yeah, I'm still in school. I go to parties and bully this human girl that I definitely hate. That's exactly how he sounds. That's the wrong way. Then they all come together, and it's beautiful. And you're like, oh, this is the best red velvet cake I've ever had in my life. But you wouldn't just eat some eggs and milk. What am I saying?